Hi, everybody, and welcome to our 13 Localish ghost stories. We're really excited to have you here. We're really excited to do this for you, and we're super excited to launch our YouTube channel. So, first off, we have a couple of things we need to talk to you about. A lot of the stories that we're going to be telling you are actually, some of them are on private property. Some of them are, and not all private property owners want you to come to their house looking for ghosts. uh, so always be respectful. If you do try to find any of these places, cool, try to just stay off their property. If you want to ask them if it's cool, that's fine. But if they say no, please respect that. If you're asked to leave, please respect that. Don't go to these places and be like, oh, Experavit told us about your ghost and we're here to find it. We're not telling you to do that. We're just sharing these for some Halloween fun. So if you're asked to leave, please do leave. By the property owners or the authorities, please don't let it get to the point to where the authorities are called. Just remember to be respectful.
And that goes for public places too. There are some public places that just don't want to be known as haunted. So if the authorities or the homeowners or any kind of owners ask you to leave, once again, please make a hasty exit. Please do what you are told. Don't cause a scene. Play nice. Also, please don't go into the cemeteries after dark. Please do not mess with the headstones. That is something that is very near and dear to my heart, because I'm a creepy girl. Please don't hurt the gravestones. And last, please don't take anything or leave anything. If you see trash, pick it up. Don't put trash there. Be respectful.
Now remember, we're not telling you this to be mean or anything like that. We just want you guys to stay safe and have a really good Halloween season. Also remember, there are some amazing locations that are local that actually offer paranormal investigations and ghost tours. A lot of those, pre-COVID, you had to pay for, but a lot of them are actually offering it free via the internet now. So definitely check out like Eventbrite and stuff like that, Facebook, because you can actually get these experiences from the comfort of your own home for free and have a very, very spooky season this year. Hello, everybody, and today's story, we have two locations for it. It's going to be awesome. We are actually talking about Dubuque, Iowa. So the first location we have to give you a little story about is the old jailhouse in Dubuque. It is no longer open, but Emily's going to give you a little bit of history, and then we're going to get to the spookiness.
So the old Dubuque jail was built between February 1857 and the spring of 1858 at a cost of only $40,000. The architectural style is an Egyptian revival. It is one of only 3 remaining Egyptian revival buildings in the United States, and it is the last one that was built. The architect's name is John Francis. Really hope you're right on this one. Ragu. I'm sorry if I just butchered that. I apologize. This is all internet and no actual names were spoken to me. So that's my best guess. He also created the Matthias Ham House and the Octagon House in Dubuque, which interestingly enough have their own ghost stories too. Over the years, the old jail developed a sorry reputation caused by the frequency of which prisoners escaped. Yes, the prisoners escaped from the jail. Often.
Quite often.
Yeah. It was closed as a jail on January 8th of 1971, and it was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1972.
All right. So, you're thinking jailhouse. It's going to be an inmate or a prison guard or something like that that haunts it. Nope. So, our story begins 20 years before the jail was even conceived of. And it's about a man named Patrick O'Connor. Now, Patrick O'Connor, he was not a nice dude. He was not a cool dude, not woosah, not love and light. Oh no, he had a little bit of an anger problem.
A little bit.
A little bit. Up in Galena, he tried to kill the lead merchant by burning the building he was in and shooting through the front door. He escaped an angry mob that tried to kill him there because he tried to kill the lead merchant. He escaped to Dubuque, where apparently Mr. Patrick O'Connor didn't learn his lesson about that anger, and he actually killed a man named George O'Keefe. He broke into George's cabin and shot him 15 times, I believe. And for this, Patrick was put on trial. And the trial was hung under a big tree about 20 yards away from where the old jail sits now. He was obviously convicted. They found him guilty. About a month later, he was hung. Fast forward. Now the jail is built. And there are reports of inmates seeing Patrick, guards seeing Patrick. Apparently he liked the jail. He didn't like, just hanging around the building. He's a nice building. He doesn't have to be outside anymore. Apparently he likes it. And there's been, video evidence. There's been recordings done. They used to offer paranormal tours there back when it was a museum. Unfortunately, now it's office space. And I don't think the city wants anybody in there doing any paranormal investigating in their offices. Might not be a good idea. But apparently Patrick still hangs out to this day. Office workers hear him. They hear footsteps in the hallways, I'll guess. They hear voices. They see apparitions. Mr. Patrick, he's pretty active, and he doesn't sound like he's much nicer in his death either. Apparently he still hasn't learned his lesson from being killed. But that's all we got for the old jail cell. Unfortunately, we can't leak anything for it because you can't do anything there. Alright, and for our second story, we have got the Grand Opera Theater? Or is it house?
I just have the Grand Opera.
I want to say it's theater. Grand Opera Theater. Emily's going to give us a little history again about it, and then we'll get into the spooky stuff.
The Grand Opera House was built between 1889 and 1890. It was established by William Lester Bradley Sr. and 5 other people. Clearly not as important as the first guy. The Opera House was $65,000 to build. Opening night was August 14th of 1890. Over the next 40 years, 2,600 productions were shown at the Grand Opera House. In 1915, movies were shown there for the first time. In 1928, the Grand had its last live performance there for many, many years. And then in 1986, the Barn Community Theater purchased the Grand Opera House, and that is when they started showing live productions again.
Alright, so on to the spooky. So, in the 1930s, obviously it's a theater. They have cleaning crews, or a crew, people that they hire to clean the theater. Gotta keep it nice. And apparently the maids at the night kept calling the police. they kept hearing voices on the stage, and which was strange when they were the only ones in the theater. So they're calling the police, and they never found anybody. Um, Another incident that happened, um, a stagehand, this was recently, a stagehand uh, was painting a backdrop for a play. And he has his back to the audience because he's painting the backdrop. And he heard footsteps behind him, which he thought was odd because last he had checked, he was the only one in the theater. And he heard the footsteps, and he heard like beads clinking, which he was like, well, it sounds like somebody in a costume. And he turns around, and nobody's there. And he felt a very cold brush of like wind, just like, and it freaked him out. So he very, very, very quickly got out of the building, and he cleaned his paintbrushes at home apparently because he was too freaked out to go back. Um, and then my final little tidbit story for you is the first play after it reopened as an actual, just straightforward theater. They were into the play, and this was opening night, and all the lights went out except for the stage lights. Every light in the building went out, and but the show went on. Still gotta entertain the crowd, and electricians were brought in while the play was still going to try to figure out what happened, and they never found anything physically wrong with the electricity. You know, there have been reports of apparitions while they are rehearsing, closed rehearsal, the public's not allowed. They'll see women sitting in the seats, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. Not there. Strange voices all around the theater. Footsteps, cold spots, cold brush, just like cold gusts of wind. Like they're unexplained. Like there's no reason for in the middle of the theater where there's no windows for there to be a cold brush of wind, and it'll happen. But if you want to hear more, and I'm sure you do, they are actually doing their own segments of ghost stories. So every day they will take you to a new level of the theater. They will give you history. They will tell you the rumors and the ghost stories they have, and then they will actually show you the paranormal evidence to back up and prove what's going on. Super cool. We will definitely link in the description so you guys can see that. And then they also have a play this month, this October. This video should be coming out before that. From, I want to say, the 9th to the 11th? Is that
Yes.
Right? 9th to the 11th.
Yes.
And that is a baseball-themed comedy. And they are doing a special showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that will be the October 30th and the 31st, and I believe they're doing 4 showings of that. So after you click on the video link, you can just follow that to their main page and get your tickets that way. Definitely, if you're in Dubuque, check them out because it'll be so cool. Even if you just go for a regular show, you never know what'll happen. Thank you so much for joining us. please join us next video. In the next video, we're doing Edinburgh Manor. It's been featured on many ghost stories, ghost shows like TV reality shows, and a lot of teams have gone there and they posted their findings. So we're super excited. And if you don't know anything about it, join us. If you do, join us. Maybe we'll teach you something you didn't know before. Who knows? We'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.